So I'm packing a bag to get out on the water, and I'm going to take a dry bag. This is completely dry, so once it's rolled up, nothing in my bag can get wet, so that keeps all my kit nice and safe. I'll take an extra couple of layers because it is pretty chilly today. There are a few bits of kit that I'll take with me whatever I'm doing on the water. So that will be a mobile phone. If your phone isn't waterproof, put it in a waterproof case. Mine is, so it's just going to go in my pocket. And then I always take sunnies with me. So these are polarised, which makes a big difference because it means that you don't get the glare off the water. I find that I can get a bit of a headache if I spend a long time on the water and don't wear sunnies. So even if it's a bit grey like it is just now, I'll still wear sunglasses. So that'll go with me too. I'm also going to take a whistle, so this will clip into my pocket. And if I need to get hold of Joe, if he's not listening to me, I'll use my whistle, or if I need to make myself known, then I can use that. Then there are two other methods of communication that I have with me, but very rarely use. So the first is a personal locator beacon. It's basically a kind of panic button. If you're in distress and you can't get hold of anybody by phone or radio, then I will use this. I've never had to use it, thankfully, touch wood. Like I say, it's a bit of a last line defence, but sometimes in my expeditions I'll be really far offshore and I just need to know that I can get hold of someone in an emergency. And then I have a VHF radio, again in a waterproof case. I recently did a VHF licence, so I actually know how to use this now. Highly recommended to make sure you know how to use it before you take it out on the water. This is basically a way to get hold of other shipping vessels and the Coast Guard if you need to. So it's a really good thing to know how to use if you're going to be out on the sea very often. It's not essential. A mobile phone, if you're in signal, is the most important thing, and making sure that it's going to stay functional, so in a case if you need to. So if you get into trouble and you need to call somebody, you need to call for help, you're going to call the Coast Guard. So the easiest way to do this if you're in signal is to call 999 on your mobile phone and ask to speak to the Coast Guard. That's the best way to do it. If you're out of signal and you need to use your VHF, channel 16 is where you'll get hold of the Coast Guard. But like I say, need a bit more information really before you can start messing around on VHFs. But yeah, in an emergency, just call 999. That's your best way to get help. So what else am I taking with me? I pretty much always have a little bag with me for beach litter. Unfortunately, whatever beach you go to around the coast, you're likely to find some kind of rubbish. So I tend to take a little bag with me so I can pick up some bits while I'm there. I've also got a hat just to keep the sun off again if the sun ever comes back, which I am not convinced it will this evening, but we'll see. So another little bit of emergency kit is I take an emergency bivvy bag or a shelter, just in case for whatever reason I need to wrap up and get warm on a beach, so I'll take that with me. Again, it massively depends on what you're going to be doing. You don't always need all this safety kit, but these are the options that are available to you. I'm taking a pair of gloves with me. It's getting a bit chilly, so I'll probably wear them to paddle in. These are the Palm Talon gloves. Looks like someone's just chopped a hole out of it. I'm pretty sure they just have actually, but it's meant to be there, and it means that you can still grip onto the paddle. If you wear gloves that have too much neoprene or too much padding between your hand and the paddle, you can actually get quite a sore forearm. It can put a lot more pressure on your forearm. So these ones mitigate for that by having a hole in the front. I've got a little mini dry bag to go inside my big dry bag, which I'll put things like my house keys in and that kind of thing. And then we are going for a picnic. So I also have all my picnic gear, and I'm pretty sure that's going to take up the majority of my bag. And then another dry bag to put some spare layers in, just in case I fall in. And that's what we're taking with us today.